Welcome, Sagittarius, to High Priestess Influence and to your general weekly tarot reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for January 20th through January 26th. Of course, dates are approximate and flexible. You may find resonance with this message whenever you view it, or you may find none at all since it's a general reading. So just take anything that resonates with you and leave the rest for someone else. And remember, never put anyone else's judgment above your own, Saggy. You know your situation best and what's right for you. But the cards, they can be a guide sometimes. They can remind us of things that we forget about or point things out to us that hadn't occurred to us. So let's take a look at what we have here. Saggy, normally I do include the card selection in the video. However, I already recorded this reading, but my heat came on in the process and it really kind of interfered with the sound quality. So I thought I should re-record it so it wasn't annoying to you. So we already have these cards. We already have this message. And what we have here from the minor arcana, we have one card for the physical realm, one for the mental realm, and I think it's 4 for the spiritual realm. So you only had one card jump out for each of these categories, yet 4 cards for the message from the spiritual realm. And normally I only want one card for the overall energy from the major arcana, but 2 of them flipped over within the deck, and long story short, I saw the yellow just stood out to me, and I just took them both. So there you have it. And it does turn out that they are a big part of your message. So let's get started here, Saggy. Since I've already spoken this out all the way in another video, I would imagine that this video is going to be shorter than the other one. So let's take a look at your physical realm. In your physical realm here, you have the 2 of Wands reversed. So what I really feel is that this is about you being indecisive. Okay, so when I first picked up this card, the word indecisive struck me immediately. So I'm feeling as though this is you looking at what you might do in the future, thinking about what you want your next step to be or the direction in which you'd like to go. Do you want to stay on the same path? Do you want to move to a different path? Do you want to try something different? Unclear of what you want to do, possibly. Again, that feeling of being indecisive here. And with the Page of Pentacles reversed, I feel as though it's related to your job situation. So I'm feeling as though you might be dissatisfied with your financial situation, or even your job, what you do for a living. It may not be satisfying to you. It may not pay you the way you want to be paid. I do feel as though you are, again, unclear as to what you want to do to make money, or whether you want to stick in the field you're in or stick at the job you're in. And you're wondering if you're even heading in the right direction. And I did sense that for some of you, it's possible that the Page of Pentacles reversed is someone else in your life. It's a loved one and about whom you are concerned. But for the most part, Saggy, I think this is you. I am going to speak as though this is you. If it is someone else in your life, like let's say a child or a partner or something like that, then, obviously this message is for both of you. But I feel for the most part, this is about you specifically, Saggy, and I'm going to speak as if this is you. Okay, so yes, so here we have you considering your options, wondering what direction you should go in, and being indecisive. And again, I'm sensing a dissatisfaction with your finances and or your job career. So now in your message from the spiritual realm here, you have some interesting cards and a great message here, Saggy. I really do love it. On top, you have the Three of Wands reversed. And what I immediately felt with this card was everything is working out for you, Saggy. Like, have faith, believe. You know, you have in your, I also find it interesting that you have here, like as the bookends, you have the Two of Wands reversed, but then you have the Three of Wands upright. So the universe is letting you know everything is working out for you, Saggy. You're on the right path. You will be taking, a first step or a next step soon. You're moving in the right direction. Things are going to start smoothing out for you. Things are going to start moving along for you. I don't feel as though it's a very swift motion at this time, but you know what? It can't be swift, because when you feel indecisive, when you aren't satisfied with where you are, then those contradicting energies slow things down. And what I mean by contradicting energies, it's like when your beliefs and your observation of what is contradicts where you want to be or where you want to go, then it just slows down your progress, because you've got contradicting energies going on. So it feels like you're just standing still, because, I want some inspiration. I want to know where to go next, but I don't know. I don't have it. I don't feel it. I don't know. So that the energy of wanting to move forward is being contradicted by your observation of what is and the fact that you're not moving forward. So it just slows things down. But that's fine. That's natural. That's normal. We all experience that. And the cards are here as a guide. So if you are experiencing this kind of energy, I hope that the cards can guide you out of it, guide you in the right direction. And that's what I feel here. Like you are headed in the right direction, okay? Things are working out for you. Things are progressing. The three is the energy of creation, and things are going to start happening for you, okay? Now, with the Six of Swords reversed under that, I'm feeling that the universe wants you to expect the waters to be a little choppy sometimes. And what I mean by that, taking the figurative language out of it and trying to be more literal, is that you're meant to experience contrast. And what I mean by that is you're meant to experience the unwanted now and then. First of all, if you don't experience anything unwanted, then how can you appreciate when things are going your way? But mainly, what the unwanted or the contrast serves as is the opportunity for you to find clarity and expansion. So as you're on your path and something doesn't go your way, it helps you to refocus on what you do want. But what this card, I'm really feeling strongly here, is saying to you, Saggy, is that you want to recognize the value in the contrast at the time it happens, or at least as close to when it happens as you can. Like, you don't want to start a negative momentum of, oh, well, why am I experiencing this? Why is this happening to me? Why is this not going my way? What you want to do is say, okay, so this happened. This is not what I want. But now I know more clearly what I do want. So I'm going to focus in that direction. So the universe is trying to tell you here that when you can recognize contrast for what it is, it doesn't have the chance to get bigger and feel worse and be even more negative. You kind of just like look it in the eye and then look away and look at what you do want. And just like, I'm looking at the waters here. Let it just float past you. Let it float past you. Just let it go by you. Don't let it deter you. Now that you have more clarity, look at what you do want. Focus on what you do want. I mean, remember, it's all about, before anything can manifest in the physical, it starts with a thought. It starts with the non-physical. It starts with the energy. And that's where you have to begin. So that's the whole idea of when you experience something unwanted or contrast, then you want to, again, like I feel like let it drift by you, let it sail by you, and then focus in the direction that you do want. Focus on the experience that you do want. So beneath that, I love this. You have the Knight of Cups. So honestly, I feel as though, my Saggy friends, that the sooner you can recognize any choppy waters or contrast for its value, the sooner you will allow an opportunity to come your way. I mean, this literally could be a job offer, since I feel as though this is financially and career related. This could be a job offer. Now, this doesn't necessarily 100% have to be about a job. I mean, this, even with the Pentacles, it could involve, a relationship. It is possible, but I'm feeling for most of you that we are talking about how you make your money. But again, the vibration, the higher your vibration, the more smoothly, the more easily, and possibly the more quickly this offer will come to you. Instead of kind of like holding things off with your mixed vibration, your mixed energy, your mixed expectations or feelings about this situation. So now beneath that, you have the Ace of Cups reversed. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And what I immediately felt with this card, or came into my mind, was it's the answer to your prayers. Now, that's not something I normally say, so I found that interesting. It's not really part of like my regular everyday language, but and even though it's reversed, I really feel it's only reversed because it's really an emphasis on your alignment. Okay, I feel like this. Okay, I feel as though this offer may be the answer to your prayers, but you're just not allowing it to be. You're not allowing it to flow to you. And I really hate to tell anyone to be patient. That's not really what I mean. But I guess what I do mean is, I feel like this is reversed because the energy is here for this to be exactly what you're looking for, but it's going to come in the right timing, in divine timing. And it can't come until you're aligned with it, until you believe it, until you expect it, until you know it's coming, until you know everything is going to work out for you and be well for you. It's just being held off. The energy is here for exactly what you want to show up in your life. And when I say exactly what you want, I have to tell you, Saggy, it's not always what you think it is. It can have a different flavor, or sometimes it can be completely different. And I have had this experience myself. And, it can surprise you in such a wonderful way where, wow, this isn't what I was expecting, but this is even better. So I'm feeling that's the case for some of you also. That also may be part of the reversal here. Not just that that it's kind of being held off by, that you can't allow it, you can't attract it until you have that allowing vibration, but also it may be different than you expect, but it may be better than you expect. Wow. Awesome. I love that, Saggy. I actually didn't even receive that part of it in the first recording. So maybe that was really important for someone to hear, and that's why the heat interfered. Everything always does work out. So that's why when things happen and they disrupt my recordings, for example, I just say, you know what? There's a reason for that. So it may be that additional part of that message that you needed to know, that it might not turn out like you want it or expect it to, but it will still be wonderful. You will still love it, and it might be better even than you expected. And it may be specifically this offer that is coming toward you. So, and remember, recognize the value in the contrast. Do your best to do that, and everything will be on its way to you. So now, as I mentioned, I don't normally take 2 cards for the overall energy, although that has been happening a little bit more than normal lately, Saggy. But I found it fascinating and amazing that you got 2 powerful cards show up here as your overall energy. I mean, the 7, the Chariot. First of all, the 7 is a very spiritual number. It can be the number, yes, of study and analysis and science, but it's also the number of spirituality and spiritual studies, and not in a religious way. It's usually not. It's usually more in an analytic way, in the sense of wanting answers, wanting to understand the universe, wanting that spiritual knowledge, that desire. And the reason I know whereof I speak is that even though my life path is 11, my other 3 core numbers are 7s. So I understand this energy tremendously, sometimes too much. So yeah, with this Chariot here, it's really, I really feel as though the universe is encouraging you to acknowledge your spiritual side and your spiritual journey, and how the understanding of your spiritual side will guide you, will give you control of that Chariot, right? And when I say control, I don't mean holding on tightly to the reins and being tense. That's not at all what the Charioteer is like. The Charioteer is emotionally and energetically in alignment with, and in the moment, with exactly what he is doing. Focused and easy about it. Very, very easy and relaxed. Holding onto the reins lightly, yet tightly enough that when he needs to, make a move, change direction, it's easy for him to do. And I'm feeling, again, here's some more stuff coming through that didn't even come through in the first video, but I'm feeling as though, Saggy, you want to hold on loosely. You want to hold on to the reins. You want to hold on. You want to hold on to the focus of what you want, but you want to hold on to, you want that focus to be light and loose, and maybe not so specific, because if you get too specific about it, that's when you go off the rails. That's when you veer off into the woods. You veer off the path, because you can't be in alignment. I'm not saying you can't, but in this experience, you're having difficulty being in alignment with maybe a specific outcome So when I say hold loosely, a light control, I'm talking about your focus. You might want to keep your focus on what you desire very general. Okay, Saggy, some more stuff coming through that didn't come through the first time. Okay, so if this is about a job, for example, do not focus on a specific job that you want. Focus on the feeling of the job that you want. I want this job to feel like something that gets me out of bed in the morning, that I want to get up and do. I want to feel enthusiastic about it. I want to feel like getting there and getting started. I want to feel interested, and I want to feel focused. And I want it to include some fun. And I want it to include good relationships with my coworkers. And I want it to provide, a living for me that makes me feel comfortable and secure, and even more so than that. But I might even stay a little bit away from the money also, Saggy, because again, sometimes that money throws us off. So focus on how you want your job to feel. And if that's even too much for you to get in alignment with, just focus on how you want every day to feel when you wake up. I want to wake up every morning and feel this way, that way, the other way. I want my day to feel this way, that way, the other way. Keep it light, keep it loose, keep it general, Saggy. Because sometimes when we get too specific, when we get too controlling, when we hold on too tightly to those reins, we can't really line up with it, and we lose control. And you lose control of your vibration. But yeah, I feel like this is a really powerful message for you, Saggy, to just, again, maintain a light control, a light focus on what you desire, so that it makes it easy for you to stay on that path of alignment. And then you got the Strength card here. And again, all the yellow here, I'm really feeling as though the sun is shining on this situation, meaning that things are clarifying for you. As opposed to moonlight. Moonlight, things are a little less clear. The sun is shining in daylight, everything is clearer. You have more clarity. I feel like you're gaining clarity, maybe from the message of these cards. But I feel like you're gaining clarity. I'm feeling clarity coming through, Saggy. Okay, so with the Strength card, now the 8 is the number of strength and power. And while this can indicate physical strength also, it is primarily about alignment here, right? I mean, this figure on this card must be the most aligned person who's ever walked the earth to be able to put her hands and her entire self that close to the mouth of a lion, right? And that's the message here. It's really about being that aligned that you know that any situation that you step into, everything will work out. So you can figuratively step into the lion's cage and know that all will be well, because you are feeling that aligned with who you really are. You're feeling that aligned with your inner self, your true self, your higher self. You're like as one with your higher self. You feel good. You feel joyful. You feel serenity and like utter well-being. And when you can bring that energy to any situation, Saggy, things will always work out for you. And like I said, even if you think they're not for a moment, temporarily, some choppy waters, that's to be expected, because even the most aligned person in the world is going to experience some minor contrast, because that's what allows us to expand. You cannot find the expansion without some sort of contrast to help you refocus, to maybe help you focus in a new direction, toward a new path. It's really amazing, Saggy, when you can kind of get a hold of this energy on a more regular basis, what it can do for you. But it does take practice. It does take deliberately focusing on doing so. So, my Saggy friends, this message did not end up shorter than the recording that did include the card selection, but there was a little bit more to it. I really hope that you found some resonance with this. I feel like anyone could benefit from some of what was in this message, and even myself personally. Actually, Saggy, I am a Saggy sun sign, so I really am going to go back and listen to this because I really felt the power in the message of these two cards here. Even if the specifics don't apply to you, the messages in these two cards were so powerful for me that I actually am going to go back and listen to my own reading. And I really don't read myself. I really am not good at reading myself. I always feel like I'm all over the place, but that message can apply to anyone, anywhere. So thank you so much for being with me, my Saggy friends. If you feel so inclined to support this channel, all you have to do is give it a thumbs up, subscribe, even click the bell if you want notifications. Either way, Saggy, thank you so much for being with me. I hope you have a fabulous week. I am so happy about this message for you. And I hope to see you back here again next week.